here, marketing manager from Latino Tax Pro with Tony, VP of Business Development. And we have new partners, Sage here with us. Hi, everyone.
Hey, how's it going?
Perfect. So I'm thinking we could start with Rafael. You could introduce yourself, who you are, what you do, and then AZ, and then Ed.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you, Alberto and Tony for having us here today. I'm Rafael Casas from the Sage Account Solutions team, a senior manager of that team in the United States. And we're really excited about partnering and helping build the relationships and businesses and growth of the Latino community. And so with that, I'll give it over to AZ.
Yeah, AZ Zabala here. Very excited to join and meet everybody here for the first time. Thank you guys for inviting us and allowing us to be a part of this community and also this conversation today. I echo Rafael's sentiments where we're definitely excited to help out where we can, but more importantly than that, just learn about what's happening, especially in today's environment, what's going on, and then be able to see if we can do something about it in order to help positively impact the community. So thank you very much for having us here.
And I'm Ed. Yep, I'm Ed Kless. I'm senior director of partner development and strategy here at Sage. I've been at Sage for 17 years, and that entire time I've had the privilege of helping our partner organizations, whether they be our mid-market partners who resell our software or accounting professionals who recommend and link to us, in helping them make their businesses better. So I like to say I'm a consultant to consultants, which is kind of trippy some days.
Yeah, nice. And I was gonna ask Ed, what are you seeing right now from your partners during this whole, coronavirus outbreak? Are they adjusting how they run their organizations and how they serve their members, or is there anything that pops out, Ed?
Yeah, I mean, the ones that I've talked to seem to be doing okay, but then the ones that I've talked to have tended to be ones who were already positioned well for this kind of transition, have either worked from home for a long time or have had, some times where they've worked in and out of an office. One of our partners in Ohio said that the bigger challenge is with her clients who are, she's in rural Ohio, and they're just very much used to coming by the office. And so they've just had to make that transition. But I think overall pretty well. I'm sure that there are certain people out there who struggle with the transition, or in fact were surprised by the transition. Not one of our partners, but my brother-in-law, who's an architect, I met him on the street. We happen to live in the same neighborhood, and we had a socially distanced conversation the other day. And he said, "Ed, do you know about this great thing called Zoom?" Like, welcome to the 20th century, Rich. We're glad to have you here. 21st century, anyway.
Cool. No, yeah, definitely. And then I met Rafael. We met in Boston, was it last year at Accountex? Yes. And I know as soon as we met, we started brainstorming how we could all work together. But I know, AZ, you reached out to us some time back, right, AZ?
Yeah. Back when my first time around at Sage, around the 2015 timeframe, I reached out because I had found out about the festival. I had found out about all the shows that you have going on, and I was like, you know what? I just need to meet these guys because looking at the website, it looks like fun. So I was like, I just want to be in the same world with these guys.
Yeah, no, definitely. And then you connected with Rafael. At what point, Rafael, did you guys kind of connect the dots and be like, oh, it's the same guys that I've been trying to talk to?
Yeah. So after you and I talked, we talked a bunch and got, working through the partnership of what we wanted to do. AZ had just recently come back as the senior director to the account solutions team. So I, as well as myself and Ed, work directly with the partners, from the small accountants, one-person firms to the top 10. And we, so when Ed, or when AZ came back, he was like, hey, look, I've spoken to those guys before. Those guys are awesome. And I'm like, yeah, these guys are amazing. We love those guys. And we're going to have a lot of tequila tasting soon here. But I know that you guys, speaking of tequila, I know you guys, I think you just postponed Latino Tax Fest as well to December.
Yeah. I know it's going to be in December to give us more time to adjust, and hopefully everything goes back to as normal as it can be at that time. And then, have a big event right before the tax season to be able to really give people what they need.
It'll be cold in the desert, so all the drinking will be to warm us up there.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. A lot of the networking, and I think when we saw each other in Dallas, AZ, you were talking about how the Latino market it's different, where it's you got to be up in the mix, in
Yeah, you
persona.
do.
You gotta. Do you have any experience, AZ, with working with these like Latino business owners or accountants before? Is that why you bring that up?
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for asking about that. It's actually something I'm really passionate about here locally. My mom is an entrepreneur. I'm sure like a lot of the folks that are on the call today, she cleans houses for a living to this day. That's what she does, right? So for me, it's something that I've grown up being very passionate about because it was number one, the option that we had that was available at the time. But then as I got to be an adult, and especially working in corporate America, working with small businesses became really my passion. So locally in the Georgia market, I definitely am very involved in all the small business Latino markets, whether that's accountants or businesses, because for me, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've been in different kinds of businesses before. My mom is an entrepreneur, he's an entrepreneur. So I want to see this be a more important part of the community and the economy and be recognized as such. So it's definitely a passion of mine.
Yeah, and it seems like it's a growing market overall from what we see, like all the data and all the numbers. And you're in Atlanta, AZ?
Atlanta,
That's
yep.
right, Atlanta area. And then Ed, are you also in Atlanta area?
Nope, I am 30 miles north of Dallas.
Oh, okay, that's right. That's right. Because when we were in Dallas, you were right there. So then, do you travel a lot, Ed? Obviously, right now we're all kind of grounded, but like usually, like in the past years, do you go to a lot of events for a lot of partners?
Yeah, executive platinum on America in the last 2 years. So yes, affirmative.
No, definitely. And I know Rafael, I see you across. So yeah, so going back to Rafael, so we saw each other in Boston and we just started game planning and seeing how we could work together. But then I noticed you went like up to the Northwest to Seattle. And is that what you mainly do, Rafael? Go to a lot of accounting shows and just speak to accountants and such?
Yeah. Actually, Ed and I do that quite a bit. We go speak to accountants and working with accountants and supporting bookkeepers from every size. We're really helping build relationships and being true business partners. And so, just as even especially the Latino community, as AZ was talking about, my mom grew up in Guadalajara, went to UDH, and all the family there and small business, and from taco trucks to just little businesses that they sell. That's really what grows the community and builds such a tight community. And so it's something that we're really passionate about, not just all accountants, but the Latino growth is something that's really amazing.
Yeah, no, that sounds good. And how, obviously, so Sage, for those some people may not know, accounting software, right? Overall, is that the primary function of Sage, or is there anything else like that you guys do as an organization?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's actually the movement of money overall, right? So absolutely is part of that. We assist with tax professionals and accounting professionals, obviously. Then there's also payroll. There is a branch that does payments, automation, and movement of money. And then we have different platforms and services that actually help with accounting and the movement of money as well.
Got it. With all the different aspects. And then a question for Ed. So how do you empower like the partnership organizations to kind of better serve their accountants? Is it through just going to their events or through digital campaigns overall?
Well, yes, going to their events. My primary role, as I said, is meta consultant, right? So I get involved not transactionally. We have a slew of people who will help people from a transactional perspective. But what I want to do is I really want to help them just make their overall businesses better. So what I have developed some specialties in is in changing the business model, making the transition from working exclusively on compliance to being also a consultant as well. And then even the changing the model from getting away from billing by the hour towards fixed priced agreements or even subscription-based pricing for professional organizations. And how can we help accounting professionals do that?
Got it. That sounds great. And
yeah,
then
Ed, can you talk about your podcast? Because I've been seeing that in your email signature a lot. Well, what's that podcast about?
Well, I have two. The one that you see in my signature email is the one that is called the Sage Advice Podcast. And what that is that's a conglomeration of, I talk to our partners, I talk to customers sometimes, I talk to thought leaders in the accounting space and outside. And it's a great example of good on Sage. About 5 or 6 years ago, I decided I wanted to start a podcast and nobody told me not to. So
there you go.
so I just did it. And this is back at the time where most people were like, well, I guess you can start one, whatever. And it's been a lot of fun. And I think there's, I last checked, I think there's over 500 episodes of the Sage Advice podcast, which just kind of knocks my sock off. And then the other one that I do, which is, it was really started out as more of a radio show on internet talk radio. Still available live. You can still listen to it live, but for the most part, people do listen to it after the fact. And that's called The Soul of Enterprise, which is also sponsored by Sage. And Ron Baker, I don't know if you've ever met Ron, but he's one of the top 5 influencers in the accounting space. He's the really one that started the whole value pricing movement. And he and I have gotten to be friends over the years. And we've just, again, privileged that Sage has sponsored The Soul of Enterprise for now going on 6 years as well. And that show gives us an opportunity to talk to a different set of people. So not just thought leaders in accounting, but we've had, John Stossel has been on the show. We've had some top name economists. We've had Joe Pine on the show from the Experience Economy. So it's just really been a terrific run. And, I can't thank Sage enough for doing it. And both Raphael and AZ will attest, I do have the best job at Sage.
Yeah, he does.
For everybody watching, we'll add links in the comments below and in the description. And please let us know if you like these sort of videos that we're doing, where we bring on our partners and sponsors and kind of talk very high level of the industry. Let us know down below if you want us to keep continuing these.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's what we're looking to do right now with everybody kind of at home and just not doing a lot of face-to-face. We've been getting good responses with these virtual kind of introductions. So it's great that you guys are on. I have a question for Rafael. I know that you were looking to reach out to these accountants and are guiding them through some of these turmoil times. Is there any specific stories you've seen, Rafael, with some of the people you work with, where people are pivoting and adjusting right now?
Yeah, there's absolutely a lot. And it's funny you brought that up. Ed and I did a podcast on the Sage Advice podcast yesterday, and we talked about this a little bit, of adjusting. And, there's a lot that are really already situated to work from home. The client's piece, they have to kind of figure that out. But there's areas where, some of them are just really struggling to get whatever they have on the cloud or get it on a hosted server so they can work from home, or putting their product on. So those are the things that are the main struggles. Some things that we also have links to that we have on our coronavirus resource site for Sage are some business planning, SOS business planning documents and survival guide kits that are really going to be crucial for small businesses that don't know, maybe looking at trying to defer a payment that they have to go out, so that they can continue to keep a strong cash flow and continue to pay also to the resources that are out there from the government with regards to, I think things that you've been posting as well, to make sure that they get some loans and help them, stay afloat and survive and thrive in this time until the smoke kind of clears. But, those are the main things that we're saying. And we're just being there to support them and giving them advice wherever we can, and give them the content and empower them and just bring a positive attitude during this time, because it can be really easy to be negative. A lot of people are struggling, so we want to make sure that we're there mentally and with our ecosystem.
Yeah, I know that's what's been going on with a lot of our members. They're asking, can you help us get on the cloud? Even though, for a while we've been encouraging them, get on the cloud, do things from home. Does Sage have a cloud solution, or is it desktop? What kind of solutions?
Like a portal, an online portal for document back and forth.
Absolutely, we have a few things. So within our Sage Accounts Network ecosystem, we've got Sage Business Cloud Accounting, which is amazing. It's a fully cloud product where you can work from home. We also have, and you guys, I think, have done some sessions with them, Auto Entry, which also has document management. It works with our Sage 50, which is cloud connected, but it can be hosted in Sage Business Cloud Accounting. So, where if they want to manage all their receipts or invoices and scan them off their phone, and then plug all that information into their accounting system like Sage Business Cloud Accounting, and then also store all those documents on on there on the cloud, that they all have all that ability to do that. So we definitely have a product suite for every level of the accountants in the Latino community and everywhere for that matter.
Yeah, I'll just add one thing as you talk about helping the community during a time of crisis. Some of these solutions are available for free, right? Available to the accounting community for absolutely free. You get lots of control, lots of access. And again, they're cloud solutions that you can get remote. So if you would like to find out more about that, just let us know.
Yeah, everybody watching, if you're interested in these free solutions that'll make you look good in front of your clients, leave your emails in the comments, and somebody from the Sage team will reach out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Amazing. Yeah, because the biggest thing is the business continuity. You got to keep making sure that your business is flowing, you can serve your clients, and this is a good time to make sure that you're doing that. But I think the biggest thing that Ed and I have come across as well is just making sure that human side, not only for your team, your accounting team, your firm, but also being there from an emotional standpoint for your clients. That's part of the advisory services, an additional layer to that. So that's really important too.
What I notice is like now is the time to really stand out as an advisor. Right? In the past, you may have your clients say, I was thinking of leaving, the guys over there is cheaper, or we'll see. But now, like if you kind of come out as a rock star and really provide that value, it'll justify whether it's your price points or your style or your brand, everything you do. So definitely, and having partners that could back you up, like Sage being behind you as an advisor, allows you to really kind of serve that client and look like the hero that you should be.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I mean, if you think about it from a business standpoint, everybody is much more educated because there's Google, there's other resources to get information, right? So the ability to be able to provide better insights is what makes you that hero that you want to be. In order to do that, you just got to have better tools to give you either more information or the ability to do more with less. And that's where we definitely want to make sure that we're stepping in and helping out. And then to Rafael's point, definitely the human element of it, just making sure that you're making those connections using this kind of technology like we're using to see each other in person, be able to see each other's smiles, make sure that, nobody's growing a unicorn horn or something like that, we want to make sure that we're keeping everybody intact.
Hey, Tony, what's that thing behind you?
Yes. So great question. So I am part of the Sage Advisory Council for accountants. So I've been invited, thank you to Rafael, AZ, and Ed, to be part of this unique group where we bring feedback to the brand, to the organization, to be able to give them a real understanding of what the accounting industry is facing, what they're hearing, and then it just speaks to the fact that Sage is really looking to serve the Latino market and the immigrant business owner, because of the fact that they're all ears, right? Whenever we were in Dallas, was it like a few months ago, January or Feb? Yeah, and we were just going over. It was a great venue, a great discussion. It was all ears to understand what we're seeing on the front lines. And then I know we were gonna have one in May, but now we're gonna find a new day. But it's a continuous multi-month organization and council to be able to really serve that market. And so thank you guys for inviting us over.
No, thank you. We learned a lot that day. Actually, you left an impression on one of our marketing people's mind. You guys shared a fact when you were there about the Latino market and just Latinos in general about, sometimes people think the easy fix is just to have a version in Spanish and now you've served the market, right? And that's really not the case when you share those stats about like, no, it's not about having it in Spanish. It's about relating to what the specific needs are. Our marketing people started going, oh man, I'm going to suggest to have a Spanish version of this. Let me cross that out and not do that. Let's make sure that we're doing this the right way.
A good example that I always use this analogy is like some time ago, Bud Light. I don't know if they still do, but that commercial that basically says, "Here we go," where they were showing like, oh, it's basically saying like it's going down. You got the Bud Lights going, you got the carne asada going, and here we go. But then you can't just translate that in Español to say, okay, ya vamos.
Yeah,
that wouldn't make any sense. So you have to translate the emotion. Like, what are you trying to achieve by saying, here we go? So what they did was genius is say, ya se armó. So
Mm.
ya se armó gets you that emotion, like, oh, it's going down. Like, get the Bud Lights ready, get the carne asada, get your friends ready. So that is a good way of them not translating the words, but the actual emotion, and
Yeah.
basically starting from scratch. So basically, the English marketing technique and campaign would be like, what kind of emotion are you trying to invoke, and let's build a campaign around it. And that particular situation with Bud Light, it looks like they started from scratch for the Spanish. It was the same idea of evoking the same emotion, but the way they built it was completely from scratch. And that's the genius part, because a lot of organizations are like, oh, just translate it in Spanish and then let people know, but then it doesn't evoke the same emotion, which it doesn't lead to the same engagement, and that's the key.
Yeah, that's right. It's like, sorry for the English speaking folks on the call here, but my family always talks about the difference in watching a soccer match, on the British channel than on the Spanish channel. It definitely feels different.
Yeah, it's a different environment. No, but definitely, I mean, that's why it's awesome that you guys are all ears, having our perspective and listening to the needs. But at the end of the day, the market is growing. So the way I see it, whoever is behind and to serve the market, they're gonna establish themselves for many years to come as the demographics of the U.S. change. So I want to thank you guys for being open to that, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And one other thing I think that you guys are helping a lot with this community where there's an advantage that I see, and we've had conversations, Rafael, Ed, and I, about this, that in the Hispanic market, especially when you're doing business with other Latinos, there is this unity and this trust that is almost innate that's there. And a lot of companies look for that, right? So we're kind of have that already wrapped up, and it's something that's natural for us doing business together. So I just want to encourage you guys, especially during these times where you can't really touch and feel on people or be in presence with them, maybe breaking some bread, that you take the time to do these kinds of engagements and be in front of them, at least virtually, so that you can really get to know the person you're doing business with,
Mm-hmm.
and also as a business insight for yourselves.
Definitely. No, awesome, man. I love it. Thank you for you guys' time. Any last words, Rafael, and then Ed?
No, one thing that I did want to ask, what are you guys doing as far as Latino Tax Pro within the the COVID-19? What are the initiatives you guys are taking too? It'd be great to understand what you guys are doing.
Here,
for the
I can start
community.
this one off real quick, Tony.
Yeah, definitely.
We've had to make serious pivots. We had a lot of live events scheduled for the rest of the year. We were ahead. We had venues, locations, everything was set. Then this happened, and now everything's 100% virtual now. So that was the main thing, was getting our operations to be virtual, and then gathering resources and giving them to our members so they could become virtual themselves, so that they could start offering these essential services, so that the police don't go to their business and say, hey, you gotta go home. But
Yeah,
so that's what we're trying to do right now. We're trying to keep our members in business.
that's awesome.
Amazing. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's the name of the game right now, to make sure everyone still has business growing and business moving.
Yeah, I would say one of the greatest things and I love seeing this because I follow you guys obviously on all the social platforms, is how much engagement you guys are getting with each other right now. I think that's going to be part of it, right? When each one teaches one, so to speak, or you're sharing information, you're helping each other out with, like, I had this situation, here's what I did about it. Anybody have any better ideas? That's the kind of thing that's going to get us over the hump, so to speak, to the next phase. So I'm thank you guys for providing that platform for the community. Sure.
Yeah, definitely. And if anybody's out there listening, you want to jump on the next Facebook Live, let us know. Yeah. We want to feature you guys.
Yeah, man, make sure to check out Ed's podcast too. I was listening to it before we got on this.
Okay.
It's cool. They're nice and short and informative.
Yeah,
we try to keep them under 10 minutes. So
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I noticed. Yeah, you posted the link right here, Albert. Awesome. So those listening, go to the comments, click on the link, and just expand your mind, learn something new, and check it out.
That's awesome.
Cool, guys. Yeah, well, thank you so much for your time. And this is just the beginning, everybody. We wanted to do a brief intro, meet the faces, see the faces. So when you see them in person, when you see them in the near future, you know who they are. But the next one, we're gonna jump into like a demo of the Sage product, some thought leadership topics on how to better your practice, and it's going to be a good year. We have a lot of things lined up with Sage and our new friends here, Rafael, Lazy, and Ed.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Saludos, se cuidan.
Gracias todos.
Gracias.
Thanks, everybody.
Peace.
Bye, guys.